lack of clean water and ill health due to air pollution as well as gender-based violence are among the many challenges faced by women living near the Medupi power station in the Limpopo township of Lephalale. Medupi's construction began in 2008 and it's the largest dry-cooled coal power station in the world. Oxfam South Africa has been investigating the impact of the Medupi project on the community of Lephalale, working alongside women's rights organizations and feminist activists. The main focus is how the project has impacted on women's lives and to improve the accountability of international financial institutions, or FIIs. The FIIs that have funded and co-funded the Medupi project include the World Bank, the New Development Bank, and the African Development Bank. Oxfam South Africa's Global Impact Program has in particular focused on the role of the New Development Bank, a BRICS initiative that has lent Eskom $480 million over 7 years to reduce sulfur dioxide emissions at Medupi. The community of Lephalale says their health and livelihoods have been destroyed by Medupi's emissions, and they were never consulted nor invited to be involved in this project. These communities are now calling for transparency and accountability from the New Development Bank and demand to know why they were excluded from a process that is integral to their lives.
I think our main problem at this stage is the fact that the community of Lephalale has been expected to pay the bill for Eskom's Medupi power station. As you know, it is the fourth largest coal-fired power station in the world. It's supposed to bring power to the rest of the country, but the price has been extremely high for us. We are giving up our health with air pollution in the area. We are giving our land up. We are giving up our water. This is an extremely water scarce area, and the power stations and the mine uses a lot of this scarce water.
In 2010, the World Bank loaned Eskom at least $3.75 billion to build the Medupi power station. And part of that agreement for this loan was that Eskom's commitment to install a flue gas desulfurization system. This is a set of technologies that are used to remove sulfur dioxide from exhaust flue gases of fossil fuel power plants. But so far, Medupi has failed to install the desulfurization system. Eskom is supposed to meet South Africa's air quality standards and legislation, but so far the state-owned entity has refused to do so, saying it's too expensive. Community organizations say they have tried their best to engage Eskom on these issues. However, their cries have gone unheard. This is why it is important for them to engage the international financial institutions like the New Development Bank directly, because it positions itself as a loan guarantee institution for development projects that are intended to develop communities in order to improve their lives and livelihoods. While the New Development Bank claims to be transparent and accountable, two recent papers produced by Oxfam South Africa and the Center for Human Rights reveal that it does not have an independent accountability mechanism and is undergoing pressure about this. Communities who are part of developing this research indicated that while the New Development Bank is funding projects in their communities, they have not been told about its purpose, nor are they included in the projects which affect them directly.
Eskom is not ready to comply. So they're giving us the postponement of 2030, 2050, so meaning like, let's us kill us for these 7 years, or this for 3 years, and so on. Then they will comply after. So also it takes us back to our government, the leaders of our government that day. Why are we acting like this? Why you don't involve us as a community organization? Remember, we are the NPO, non-profit organization. Even the certificate, they talk that the reason to have the NPOs in is because of to assist our government.
For me, our engagements are always related to whatever process that the government would be going through. it's not a robust discussion where they like just opened it up to civil society and say, hey, we want to know what's happening. You know, we always have to hijack certain processes and then sort of like derail and sort of like put in your input at that point. There hasn't been something specific like for civil society to say, come and we want to hear. But whenever we have dialogues and we have campaigns in the villages, whenever we do that, they're very keen to come on board. And our thinking is, how can you want to talk about the problem when you don't even know how it started?
Medupi, the challenge is ashes. There's a stack of ashes there. So when it's windy, you can't control. They can't control the ashes. You find that the whole place is these ashes of them all over, and these ashes is very dangerous because of carry SO2, PM10, and PM25. And when you go to Marapong township, there's a lay down of coal where they're storing a coal, Eskom. So every time when it's windy, always see is like that. You cannot see it. You can smell it that no, here is a coal.
To read Oxfam South Africa's new Development Bank Accountability and Transparency paper series related to information disclosure and the need for an independent accountability mechanism, visit www.oxfam.org.za. Oxfam South Africa will continue to engage the women in the Lephalale community about the gendered impact of the Medupi coal-fired power station, working together on holding duty bearers accountable and working with women's rights community-based organizations to understand what a just transition means for their community. Oxfam South Africa is also working with the Fair Finance Southern Africa Coalition, or FFSA, to conduct a social audit in Lephalale. FFSA is a network which seeks to ensure that development finance institutions invest in a socially and environmentally responsible manner in South Africa and the region. Visit fairfinancesouthernnafrica.org.